All right, y'all, we got yet another George Not a Blog update, and I've come to read it and talk about it with y'all. Let's get into it. All right, so I might skip around a little bit, and also I'm not going to read every single blog post that George posts, but obviously, but I want to bring to you all the posts that I think that would really interest y'all, especially those of you who have been waiting on the books and stuff. So here it is. Let's get into it. He said, I have done a lot of interviews over the years, more than even I can possibly keep track of. Inevitably, a lot of them touch on the same subjects. One of the things I've been asked about most is my writing process. If you have seen any of those interviews, you probably heard me talking about the two types of writers, the architects and the gardeners. I have given that same spiel numerous times. Here's one of the most thorough explanations. You can watch that if you want to. He said, another question that I get a lot, especially since the end of Game of Thrones on HBO, is whether A Song of Ice and Fire will end the same way. And I'm gonna pause real quick here and say, girl, what the hell do y'all think? Absolutely the fuck not, bitch. Dan and Dave really tried that shit. What do you think? Absolutely not. I mean, when you get the showrunners talk about they didn't give a fuck about the magic of a fantasy series, girl, then you absolutely know that it's going to end differently. Okay. So he says an architect will be able to give a short, concise, simple answer to that, but I am much more of a gardener. My stories grow and evolve and change as I write them. I generally know where I'm going. Sure, the final destinations, the big set pieces, they have been in my head for years, for decades, in the case of A Song of Ice and Fire. There are lots of devils in the details, though, and sometimes the ground changes under my feet as the words pour forth. He talks about just where he gets his ideas and stuff like that. And he says, which brings me to the Winds of Winter. Most of you know by now that I do not like to give detailed updates on Winds. I'm working on it. I have been working on it. I will continue to work on it. Yes, I work on other things as well. I love nothing more than to surprise my readers with twists and turns they did not see coming, and I risk losing those moments if I go into too much detail. Spoilers, even saying that I am working on a Tyrion chapter, as I did last week, gives away the fact that Tyrion is not dead. Reading sample chapters at cons or posting them online, which I did for years, gives away even more. I actually quite enjoyed doing that until the day came that I realized I had read and or posted the first couple of 100 pages of Winds or thereabouts. If I had kept on with the readings, half the book might be out by now. So I am not going to give you all any kind of detailed report on the book, but I will say this. I've been at work in my winter garden. Things are growing and changing, as does happen with us gardeners. Things twist, things change, new ideas come to me, thank you, Muse. Old ideas prove unworkable. I write, I rewrite, I restructure, I rip everything apart and rewrite again. I go through doors that lead nowhere and doors that open on marvels. Sounds mad, I know, but it's how I write. Always has been, always will be, for good or ill. What I have noticed more and more of late, however, is my gardening is taking me further and further away from the television series. Yes, some of the things you saw on HBO in Game of Thrones, you will also see in The Winds of Winter, though maybe not in quite the same ways. But much of the rest will be quite different. And really, when you think about it, this was inevitable. The novels are much bigger and much more complex than the series. Certain things that happen on HBO will not happen in the books, and we love that. We love that. And vice versa. I have viewpoint characters in the books never seen on the show. Victarion Greyjoy, Aaron Martell, he goes on and on. They will all have chapters, and the things they do and say will impact the story and the major characters who were on the show. I have legions of secondary characters, not POVs, but nonetheless important to the plot, who also figure in the story. Lady Stoneheart, yes, God. Yes, God, absolutely. Lady Stoneheart, young Griff, the Tattered Prince, Penny, blah, 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 blah. Some chapters you saw in the show are quite different than the versions. Oh, some characters you saw in the show are quite different than the versions in the novels. Yara Greyjoy is not Asha Greyjoy, and HBO's Euron Greyjoy is way, way, way different from mine, and it absolutely is. Absolutely is. Quaid still has a part to play, so does Rickon Stark, and well, the list is long, and this is part of why Wins is taking so long. This is hard, guys. He said, oh, and there will be new characters as well. No new viewpoints, I promise you that. But with all these journeys and battles and scheming to come, inevitably our major players will be encountering new people in lands far and near. One thing I can say in general enough terms that I will not be spoiling anything, not all of the characters who survived until the end of Game of Thrones will survive until the end of A Song of Ice and Fire. And not all of the characters who died on Game of Thrones will die in A Song of Ice and Fire. Some will, sure, of course, maybe most, but definitely not all. Of course, I could change my mind again next week with the next chapter I write, that's gardening. And the ending, you will need to wait until I get there. Some things will be the same, a lot will not. No doubt once I am done, there will be a huge debate about which version of the story is better. Some people will like my book, others will prefer the television show, and that's fine. You pays your money and you make your choice. I do fear that a certain portion of fans are so angry about how long Winds has taken me that they are prepared to hate the book unread. That saddens me, but there is nothing I can do about it but write the best book that I can and hope that when it comes out, most fans will read it with clean hands and an open mind. That's all I can tell you right now. I need to get back to the garden. Tyrion is waiting for me. I wonder what Tyrion doing. I wonder what Tyrion doing. So I just really love that every single time, it just seems like every single time George is talking about the show versus the books, he always highlights like, hey, guess what, guys? Yeah, some might be the same. Some things might be the same when it comes to, show versus the books, but a lot will be different. George is like, a lot of things will be very different. He's like with a whole huge megaphone, let y'all know, like, yes, what you saw the show is not really gonna be giving 100% what I'm about to be giving y'all in the books, and that's it. I love that he clarifies that shit, because it's just like, wow. I know. See, that's why, like I said, I always want to talk to this man, without no cameras, with just off the record. I would love. Can you imagine seeing George's fucking face, like, while he watching, if he even watched this shit, while he watching season 8? Like, can you imagine just watching this man's face react to season 8? I feel so, like, I don't know. I'm just glad he's super talented, and just because his legacy is not gonna die because of that shitty thing that happened with Game of Thrones. You know what I mean? He's just that talented. But it's just, I can only imagine as an author or as a creator of some kind of thing, to watch that shit happen, watch Dan and Dave do that shit. It's just like, I would want to fight. Like, I would want to fight. Like, I would want to fight. I'm sorry. But like, I really would. Like, I'd be like, yo, what's up? So yeah, I wonder what the differences are going to be. I feel like some of the big pieces from the show might still be, from the ending of the show, might still be in the ending of A Song of Ice and Fire. But if we go to some of these places that season 8 took us, it's going to make fucking sense. It's going to make sense. It's going to have a bigger buildup. The rules of magic and the prophecies and all that shit are actually going to matter. Jon being Targaryen is actually going to matter. Daenerys, if she's going to blow up King's Landing, we're going to slowly break her down over a course of a period of time and watch her go insane. If she's not, then girl, they tried it. You know what I mean? It's just, oh my God. I'm going to start ranting again about season 8 if I keep going. But that's not the point of this video today. But yeah, that's a quick update to see what the hell's going on with Winter. I know that a lot of fans are very, like, they have been waiting for it like over a decade. Like decades, like, but as someone who also has his own, like, I have a fantasy ebook out right now. You check my description box. and get into it if you want. But I'm writing a sequel to that, and that shit is taking me. It was taking me so fucking long to do. Like, it's taking me so long to do, and I'm not George R. R. Martin, obviously. So I can only imagine someone with his schedule, someone as busy as his ass is, like, and then with all this pressure of the show having a different ending than the books, and then your fans are waiting, but then if you put out bullshit, they're gonna drag the shit out of you. So it's like, it's better to take your time and have people get pissed off at you than to just rush and write something out because the fans want it, and then they get it, and then they gonna be mad, girl. Especially if they already, like he said, they're already gonna be mad at him. They're already, people are already gonna be pissed at him. So it's like, if they're already gonna be pissed, it might as well. It's like when you show up late to something. It's like, bitch, might as well stop and get some. If I'm already gonna be late, might as well get some water, get some gas. Like, you see what I'm saying? So yeah, let me know what y'all think about this whole thing. I'm sure people are getting even more excited now that these updates are. He's really updating. He's updating us. So let me know what you think, and I will catch you all later.